The courtroom was tense, every eye fixed on the center of the room as a young, heavily pregnant woman clutched her swollen belly and tried to steady her trembling hands. The murmurs of the audience swelled like a storm as she swayed, her face pale, and then, without warning, she crumpled to the floor. Gasps erupted, pens fell from lawyers' hands, and a few startled spectators jumped from their seats. But even in that shocking moment, there was another presence that drew the room's attention, a woman sitting smugly in the front row, a cruel, triumphant smile plastered across her face. She had been waiting for this day, certain that the truth would never come to light. The atmosphere was thick with suspense, and even before the judge called for calm, everyone knew that today, a life-altering revelation was about to unfold. The pregnant woman, Clara, had spent months gathering the courage to file the paternity suit. Her husband, Ethan, had disappeared from her life under mysterious circumstances years earlier, leaving her to raise their first child alone. But Clara had discovered something that shook her to the core. Her husband had been living a double life, entangled with another woman named Vanessa, who now sat in court, smug and confident, convinced her secrets would remain buried. Clara's heart raced as she listened to the lawyer outline the case, but the strain of carrying a child and facing this emotional battlefield left her on the edge. Every memory of betrayal, every sleepless night, every tear shed in loneliness converged in that courtroom, and when the lawyer mentioned the DNA test, her knees buckled, and the world went black. When Clara fainted, the courtroom erupted into chaos. The judge banged his gavel, calling for order, but all eyes were drawn to Vanessa. For months, Vanessa had flaunted her affair with Ethan, relishing the idea that she had won, that Clara would be humiliated. Her smile had been a mask of victory, but as the court nurse helped Clara to her feet and the DNA results were read aloud, everything changed. The DNA test confirms that Ethan is the father of the child Clara carries, the judge announced. The words hung in the air like a thunderclap, and Vanessa's smile faltered, then vanished entirely. Shock, disbelief, and an uncomfortable tension replaced the arrogance that had once defined her presence. In that moment, the power dynamics shifted, and the courtroom seemed to breathe in unison with Clara's renewed sense of justice. Clara's emotions were a hurricane. Relief, anger, sadness, and hope collided as she steadied herself. She realized that the ordeal had taken more than her physical energy. It had drained her trust in people, made her doubt love, and forced her to face the raw edges of her heart. But as she looked at Ethan, standing silent and remorseful, she felt a strange mixture of resentment and longing. He had made mistakes, hidden truths, and hurt them all deeply, yet the DNA test now demanded that responsibility be acknowledged. Clara, in her quiet strength, found her voice. "I need honesty, and I need stability, for me and for our child," she said firmly. The judge nodded, recognizing the courage it took to speak such clarity in the midst of pain. Vanessa, meanwhile, faced her own reckoning. Her confidence, once a shield, could not withstand the truth laid bare. The humiliation and self-reflection settled over her like a cold fog. She realized that manipulation and deceit had brought her temporary satisfaction but could never provide genuine happiness. Watching Clara, who despite betrayal and hardship had stood tall, Vanessa understood that strength and integrity were not given, they were earned through perseverance, love, and unwavering truth. And for the first time, she felt the weight of her choices, realizing the emptiness of victory built on the suffering of others. As the trial concluded, Clara walked out of the courtroom with a new sense of purpose. Ethan, remorseful but willing to make amends, promised to step into the life of their unborn child with honesty and dedication. The experience had changed them both, exposing flaws and healing wounds in equal measure. Clara, once broken and uncertain, had reclaimed her dignity, and even in her exhaustion, she knew that the journey ahead, though challenging, was filled with potential. Life, she realized, demanded courage, not just to confront betrayal, but to embrace the unknown with hope and resilience. The story closed not on bitterness, but on redemption and growth. Clara's fainting in court had been a dramatic moment, but it became symbolic, a collapse that led to clarity. The DNA test, once feared, became a tool for truth and justice. And the emotional scars, though real, were reminders of the strength that could emerge from pain. In the end, the courtroom drama became more than a battle over parentage. It became a testament to human resilience, to the power of truth over deceit, and to the profound idea that even in the darkest moments, courage and integrity can light the way forward. Clara's story left viewers with an enduring message: no betrayal is too deep to overcome, no challenge too great to face, and no life too burdened to transform into a story of hope.